Okay, let's talk about the systems that you need in place in order to grow your business. So I'm going to share my screen. And what I'd like for you to let me know if does everybody see my screen okay? Great. Now, given the fact that there are not a lot of us here today, feel free, just if you got questions, hit me in the chat. Let me know what's up. If you're on Facebook, feel free to drop some questions in the group. It will take me a second to see it just because of the delay, for one, and two, I'm like bouncing between multiple screens, but I just want to make sure that everybody is accounted for and we can get it in. So what we are looking to do today is figure out how to create a sustainable business. And I define that as understanding how your business is working on a large level and then knowing where in your business you need to improve so you can consistently bring in some kind of income short of a crazy pandemic like the coronavirus, which just fucks all of us up, right? And there's nothing we can do about it, unfortunately. So but this is a great opportunity if you see it this way, which I do, that if you use this opportunity to really assess your business and start working on the things that you can improve on, when the pandemic, when all this passes, then you're gonna be better equipped to start making some serious moves once things get up and going again, right? So I would encourage everybody to really start, don't panic, first of all, because nobody makes good decisions when they're panicking. That's why all the toilet paper is gone for a flu virus. It makes no, I get it. Like you want to stock up to be safe in case you need to get quarantined, but okay. You know, if the first thing you buy is toilet paper when it's a flu epidemic, it just goes to show that logic isn't necessarily fully coming into play here. So how I want you to start thinking about this is to look at the opportunities that you have that where you can start improving your business. So here's how this starts to work. So in the beginning, as we are learning what to do and we're figuring it out, there's a lot of confusion. So we start, okay, how do I book more gigs? I gotta start calling people to get my name out there. I gotta do DJ mixes. I gotta build a fan base. I need to follow up with people. I need to practice as much as I can. And I gotta do as many gigs as possible. And I gotta do this and I gotta do that. And I gotta do all these things. And holy shit, it's super confusing. But then over time, if you have guidance or you have people that are helping you out, all this confusion turns into clarity. And today, we're aiming for this. We're gonna shift from this to this. So, for example, how does this all come together? So if you know you're getting leads, but you're not booking gigs, then you'll need to work on your sales. If you're handing out tons of cards and you post on social media, your DJ mixes, you're promoting your gigs, but nobody's calling you, you might need to work on your marketing a little bit. If your phone isn't ringing, period, then you might need to work on lead generation. And listen, don't feel bad that things might not be working for you right now, or if you, through this workshop, you see you're missing important parts of the business because you don't know what you don't know. Marketing, sales, and delivery is a whole process in and of itself. This is why coaching is so important. This is why you need programs that help give you direction on what to do, because we all need help to be growing and improving to get to the next level. Like I learned a lot on my own, but things really started to move faster once I started getting help. Quick example. So I produce music on top of DJing, and I work with a coach named Mike Monday, who helps producers make quality music faster. And when I started working with him off and on, I might've been making like 100 beats over the course of a year. It's whatever, right? But every year I started working with him, those numbers doubled. So I went from like 120 to 125 to 250 in my first year to, I think I went from like 100 to 200 and then like 200 to 4. In the last year, I hit 600 beats, over 600 beats, because I just continuously honed what I was doing. I found out where my troubles were, what I can improve on, where I was getting stuck in my process, and to have that outside eye shine a light on what I'm doing and saying, oh, do this instead of that, proved to be immensely helpful with my artistic workflow. So how does this relate to you? Let me tell you the story about DJ Six Figs. DJ Six Figs. Now, DJ Six Figs has gone through Spin to Six, right? And DJ Six Figs knows that there are 3 main pillars that Spin to Six operates on. The first one is preparation. So here we got DJ Six Figs sitting on the chair, working on their laptop, preparing for the next gig. DJ Six Figs is visualizing what it's going to look like. Everybody has their hands up and is excited about what's to come. So DJ Six Figs prepares, right? And then DJ Six Figs produces. Say produce. Now, produce doesn't necessarily mean you have to make beats at all. It can help you if you can, but if not, I look at production as also your live show. I look at production as your musical assets like mixtapes. And if you can produce remixes, edits, etc. Also, I look at production as like your headshots, if you have promo pics, video, etc. But in this case, Six Figs is preparing for the live show, because I believe your live show is the #1 way for you to generate more gigs. So DJ Six Figs is like, put your hands up. And everybody in the room is like, yeah. Everybody has their hands up, right? So once DJ Six Figs has prepared for the gig, and prepared enough where at the gig, they're producing such an incredible live show. People love DJ Six Figs. Then it comes down to promotion. So now DJ Six Figs is on the phone with me, because I saw them get down, and I'm like, you're hired. And DJ Six Figs is like, cool. And this, my fellow DJs, is the big picture of how this all kind of comes together. So you prepare, and you prepare in multiple ways. Once you're prepared, you put together a super dope live show, and that is part of your promotion. And then once you're done, you cycle back and prepare for the next thing. And it's not just for live gigs. This is for your business in general. Because if you play it right, it's almost like a tree. One thing leads to the next, leads to the next, leads to the next, and it just expands, right? But a lot of it comes down to this and this. And when you got those two together, this becomes easier. All make sense? Let me know. Okay, I'm assuming that everybody's with it so far. Jeff, yes, what's your question? Well, as you're writing down your question, I'll keep going. So there's a whole system to all this, right? Now, this is the worksheet that ideally you should have downloaded. If not, it's totally fine. You can still follow along. What I want most for all of you is to be a six-figure DJ. And in this model, you're going to see the systems that it takes to become a six-figure DJ. So let's define what a six-figure DJ is, or is, has, does. So a DJ, a six-figure DJ is a DJ who's building a successful career and killing it because you have consistent gigs and you have the tools to get out there and continuously book more work. And this is more than just making money. So asking everybody here, would you rather have a 9-to-5 and make $100,000 a year, or DJ full-time and make 50K? Let me know. This workshop does require you to answer back. So I want to know for all of you, would you rather work 9-to-5 and make 100K, or DJ and make 50K? And if you're on Facebook, feel free to chime in. DB, DJ at 50K. Munoz, DJ Jeff, DJ make 50K. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, you're winning because you're doing what you love. And hey, Steve says, oh, that's 10K more than I make now. Hey, always room to grow. You're on the way. You're on the way. Sean says both. You could do both. It's a lot of work. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Jeff, I'm gonna come back to your question. How do you go about trying to reach out to club managers? So far in the past, I've done emailing them, even gone in person, asked do you need DJs. How do you go about selling yourself as a DJ to spin at a club? Yeah, you just have to be consistent. You know, a lot of it's hard to get into a network that's already existing. You are trying to break into something that's already happening. So that's very hard to do, because essentially what you're doing is trying to get in on existing relationships between club managers and DJs, promoters and DJs. You have to, number one, be patient. 2, be consistent and follow up. And 3, show up and be helpful. Those are the 3 things I can recommend. There's no one trick that's all gonna get you in automatically. If you can't do that, you have to build a following, which that also takes time, but you have to be strategic about all this. So you hate it when you email it. Well, they don't have to email you, right? If you're a nightclub manager, that's what every DJ wants to be in your club. So if you put yourself in their shoes and imagine how many DJs are hitting you up as a manager all the time trying to get in, you know? So it's part of the game. And you just have to keep showing up and be as valuable as possible. Because it's rare that people will just take you off blind sight. Like, oh, you're a DJ, yeah, cool, come spin. That, not to say it never happens, but less likely of that happening if you're just somebody randomly coming off the street trying to get a gig. So building your network takes time. So shout outs to all my DJs that wanted to spin. Oh, great. People on Facebook. Raul says, I love to DJ, so I would DJ and make 50K. That's what I'm talking about. Garrett, G-Spot, Anderson, DJ at 50K. We're all on the same page here. the doing what you can make money doing what you love, right? And also it's more than making money, like I said earlier. So a six-figure DJ has three things. Six-figure DJ has freedom. You want to be able to enjoy the life that you've created. You want to eat fancy meals. You want to hang out with your family. You want to travel to different countries after the coronavirus thing passes, right? So like, I know I was hustling super hard and I've missed out on a lot of things, birthday parties, get-togethers, special events, that hopefully you won't have to, because you'll be able to work your schedule and your gigs in such a way that you can enjoy what you're doing as you DJ. A six-figure DJ also has independence. You don't got to work for the man. I don't. I haven't worked for the man in almost a decade. You don't have to worry about how you pay the bills. You don't have to hustle 2 jobs to make ends meet, except Sean, because Sean wants to do both. He wants to make $150K DJing and working a full-time job. Not impossible, my brother, but you're going to be tired, just letting you know. But you can make a living doing what you love. And ultimately, and this is why we do this, a six-figure DJ has happiness. Lumios, amen. That's exactly what I want. And it's possible to get. It is totally possible to get. Our job as DJs is really to make other people happy. We turn it up on the dance floor so that all our guests, whoever it is, can forget the moment, right? If there's anything about moments like this with the whole like coronavirus panic, there's a lot of people that are going to be home right now. And I'm half Iranian. I have family in Iran who've been on lockdown just because of the insanity that's going on with the virus there. And my cousins, I've heard like they're going bonkers because they're at home 24/7. And we as DJs have an opportunity to be able to bring people happiness. Like, you can change somebody's mood with music. I've had people come in with shitty days, they dance it out and they leave feeling 100% better, right? And we know, like, a lot of us DJ also for those ooh moments when you drop the right track at the right time, like ooh. There's no other feeling when you're DJing and you get those moments and you know that the crowd is in the palm of your hand. Like, anybody who is not a DJ will never understand what that's about. Ever, ever, ever. It's like one of the best feelings, right? And that's why we do it. For me, it's that on the dance floor, but now it's also helping DJs like yourself be able to create a sustainable career. Because I've done it. I've done it for almost a decade and hit 6 figures for multiple years. So it's very possible to do what you love to do and make a living doing it. So, like I had mentioned with DJ Six Figs, in order to be a 6-figure DJ, you need 3 things. The first thing you need to do is prepare. Now, first, you need to know that it's very possible to make a living DJing. Second, you need to know who you are as a DJ. Third, you have to have an idea of where you're trying to go. What's the plan? The second thing you need as a 6-figure DJ is to produce. You need to be able to make sure that you have all the tools ready at your disposal to book gigs. And again, when I say produce, it's not about making music, although that will be a big help for you. What I really mean is, what are the assets that you have, from music to pictures to live shows and more, to help you land a client? The third thing, oh, that's a horrible half circle. That's not any better, whatever. The third thing you need to do is promote. Raul says, I can relate, got high fives all night from the groom every time you drop the song he likes. Fun as hell. Good job, baby. Good job. That's what I'm talking about. Now, the third thing we got to do is promote. So you need a system of marketing and promotion for getting the word out about who you are. So from the internet to the phone, there's so many tools out there at your fingertips that you can and you should be using to tell the world what's going on. But more specifically, you need these tools to tell your clientele about who you are, so you have an opportunity to book more gigs. Otherwise, your business just is not going to work, right? So if you don't prepare, you're going to be winging it. You're going to be trying every little thing you can do to see whatever can help get you more work. You might land a gig or two like this, but trust me when I say it's not going to last for long and you're going to stay right where you are. So if you don't prepare, you'll continue to struggle. If you don't produce, you'll have nothing to showcase yourself and your abilities. The only people that know what you do are going to be the people who are at your gigs. And if you are already winging it because of a lack of preparation, it's a low likelihood that you'll be booking more gigs anytime soon. So if you don't produce, your bookings will suffer. And if you don't promote, what happens is you just stay broke. Or if you are working, you'll just stay where you are in your business. It'll plateau. I know a lot of people use things like Gig Masters and Thumbtack, whatnot. That's cool. It works for some people, but you are now depending on a platform to get you business. So that only goes so far. I know a lot of people have complained to me that all of a sudden their gigs have dried up and they don't know what to do. That's a problem. You're depending on a platform. So it has its perks to like get on those sites, but if you don't promote properly, you will continue to stay small. So let's break all this down. With preparation, there are 3 parts within each section. So with preparation, the first thing you got to do check yourself. Get your mind right. Garrett, tips on a press kit. Ask me later. Remind me later. But you might get some ideas through this. How we think is one of the biggest things that we are unaware that could be preventing us from becoming more successful. Maybe for years, people were telling you it's impossible to make a living from DJing. Maybe you had a family that wasn't supportive of what you were trying to do. Maybe you subconsciously don't even think it's possible. So if you don't get your mind right, put it in the right place, make it work for you to support you in what you're trying to do, you could be self-sabotaging yourself and you won't even know it. And listen, I'm telling you, this isn't some woo-woo type talk. This is for real. And once you start understanding this for yourself, you will start to see how other people would need to get their mind right as well around you. The second thing you got to figure out what you about. This is all about discovering your brand. So once you start to know who you are, what you do, what you play, you'll have a leg up on all the other DJs who don't. So there's a reason why the word branding is beat down to death when it comes to entertainment. And really it comes up down to like, how are you showing up in the game? I sent an email, I think the beginning of this week that touched on branding. And it's really about knowing what is the promise you're going to give. Like if somebody hires you as a DJ, what are they expecting from you? You are delivering a very specific thing. And part of like how it shows up is in your look, for example. So are you gonna have an edgy look like Skrillex and play hard banging EDM, right? That's a very specific lane. We don't confuse Skrillex with Lady Gaga, who's super pop and wears meat dresses, right? Like she has her own lane, Skrillex has his own lane, and their branding is very different. So how are you showing up? It doesn't matter what you do as long as you decide what kind of branding will work for you. So getting this figured out now will help you as you start promoting yourself and speaking to your audience. The third thing, Raul, I'll get to your comment on Facebook in a moment. Raul says, sorry, the third thing is you got to Voltron the master plan. Anybody know what Voltron was about? So Voltron was this cartoon back in the day that, or just, let me know if there are any Voltron fans in the house, but it was a cartoon back in the day where there were these, like, I think they were tigers, and they would come together and form this big robot. Zoids. Thank you. And they would form this big robot that had, Jeff says, yes, you do. Yes. So they formed like the arm, right? The chest, the legs, the head, and it would be this big robot that would like save the world. And I say Voltron the master plan because you need to start piecing things together. This is the final part in your preparation. You have to get a game plan going for your career. What's your ultimate goal? How many gigs are you trying to get in a month? Are you trying to grow a following? I know some people have expressed interest in the Facebook group. They want to travel domestically and even internationally. So you have to figure out what you got to do to get there. And if you figure out that plan for your career, it's going to be a massive boost for you as you move forward. You'll have an idea of what to do and how to approach it. Now, let's talk about producing. The first part in producing listen deep, fam. Now, our job as DJs is to play music, of course. Oh, Jeff, there were lions. Thank you for correcting me. Definitely not confusing them with Power Rangers. Definitely not. So with listening deep, it's a combination of like playing music, like playing the right song at the right time to get the crowd on the right vibe, because we have a grasp on so much music, right? We have a very unique job that we have to catalog all this music for our crowd, right? And we have to carry the knowledge of a wide variety of music to be able to rock many, many crowds. So part of being a six-figure DJ is to be able to cater to every crowd you walk into. So how are your crates looking? And if your crates are looking good, you still have to know what are the gems in those crates that the people want to hear. And this, again, comes down to your live show. Right? So how's your live show looking? Or is your presentation looking good? Do you have lighting? And this is for mobile DJing specifically. Are your mics on point, right? Are they cutting out when people are talking during toast? How is your speaker system? Do you use subs? Do you use 2 speakers? Do you use 4? For bigger events, things like that. So how does all this come together for you when you're playing your music? Now, here's a caveat. If you only play one style of music, like house, it is still possible to get to 6 figures. There are many, many styles of house music. But I am coming from an open format perspective. So when I started DJing, I started out as an underground hip hop DJ. So I love artists like Mos Def, Kweli, Pharoah Monch. I listen to Gangstar, Guru, Primo, right? And I still have those records. But when I started doing clubs and parties, I knew that I had a problem because I know Mos Def don't make the club bounce. I mean, let's call it for what it is, right? So I had to learn quick that I needed to like up my crates if I wanted to continue spinning in the club and not clear out the dance floor, which I've done plenty of times. The second thing with production is knowing your steez. So with this, you have to take a holistic assessment of the things you have to present yourself. So some of you, for example, have Instagram, but some of you have your Instagram account on private. Drives me insane. What are you doing? Why? You're a DJ. Like, people need to know who you are. So free advice today, if you have an IG profile and it's private, take it off private. And if you have a public site, turn it into a business account. Because if you do that, then you can start seeing daily analytics on your followers. And that'll be super helpful for you when you want to post. So, do you have a website on top of Instagram? Is it fully functioning? Is it under construction? How's your social media looking? Do you have a lot of pictures of yourself? Do you have video of yourself? Press kits, things like that. How is your styling? What's your presentation like? Presentation matters both digitally and physically. So yes, you have to look good, but how is that translating also with your website? I think Jeff asked, how do you turn your IG into public? I think it's a setting on your personal, it's a setting. So if you go to the gear, I think there's a way to figure that out. I don't have that answer off the top, but Google it. There should give you some direction. Now, I'm forgetting, G-Spot, was that you? It's funny that I'm saying this out loud like that. But if that was you that asked about press kits, I think you mentioned that having a good press kit with your best mix is important. Yes, it is. And this is like, do you have a one sheet? So I personally have a one sheet that's like a highlight thing that that's like a highlight reel of what I've done. And I also have a short 1-minute video on another highlight reel that I can send to people, that these are my assets that I can use as a way to help book myself, right? If I'm just telling people, yo, I'm a dope DJ, you got to take me at my word. Like, I've never seen you get down. But if I'm like, listen, I'm a dope DJ and let me send you some stuff. And I'm like, here's my mix. Here's a video on me. And they're like, oh, this guy's pretty legit. You are more likely to get a shot. They may not book you, but you are more likely to get a shot than if you just say, hey, I'm a DJ, you should hire me. Does all this make sense, right? So having your assets together really helps prepare you for the opportunity when it presents itself. Now, let me give you an example, another example as why this is important. So I remember having a call with a potential client for a wedding. It was me and another DJ, and we were neck and neck. But the client ended up booking them. So I'd followed up with them and asked, like, hey, just curious, totally cool. You know, good luck with your wedding. I'm curious to know why you went with the other DJ. And they told me he had video. So we got to see him in action. I was like, very eye-opening moment for me. That if I had video ready to go, I might have been able to secure that gig. So again, preparing you for the opportunities. Know your steeds. What do you have on deck? The third thing, and this is the most fun, you got to be cooking up product. Cook it up, hey, cook it up. This won't turn into a trap music video, don't worry. I'm not the fourth member of Migos. Now this is fun because you got to do things like make mixtapes, right? Can you produce? It'll help you. If you can't, don't worry about it. But if you can, cook up remixes. Cook up originals if you can. Like, all these things are going to be in service to your career, especially when it comes down or when it comes time to promote yourself. So the more you have in your arsenal now, you're just making it easier for yourself to generate more fans and more leads. Now, we get to the third part, and that's the promotion part. So the first part of this get that paper. This is all about developing your sales skills. You got to find your leads. You got to connect with your leads, and then you got to sell, sell, sell. This is the one thing that I think is the trap that we fall into when we're starting up as DJs in our career. We think, oh, well, if I'm dope, things should just happen. The hard reality is, nope, that ain't how it goes down. You can have somebody that's half dope as you, but because they can sell themselves better, they're more likely to get opportunities than you are. Skill, unfortunately, doesn't have as high of a relevance as you think it might have. I didn't say it doesn't matter, because it does. What I am saying is you have to have a different skill set to set you up to showcase your skills. So you have to find your leads, right? Like I'm repeating, you got to find your leads, you got to connect with them, you got to sell. Here's my issue with gig masters. This is why a lot of people like them. They help you find the clientele. So people know, I need a DJ, I don't know where to look, I'm gonna go to Gig Masters. Or I need a wedding DJ, I'm gonna go to The Knot. And they're like, cool, here's client, here's DJ, DJs, here's a potential client, send your pitch, right? So they're the middleman of the whole process. All you have to do is pitch. Here's the problem with relying on the middleman. You don't have control on your leads, right? And when a lead comes up, now you're competing with hundreds of other DJs and their pitches for this one same gig. And again, it's worked for a lot of people, but when the well dries up, what do? From January to February, when there's no gigs popping off, what do? You got to get your sales cycle down. Here's the other thing, because I don't use Gig Masters, I don't use The Knot, and I'm still a six-figure DJ. What I've learned, because I looked up Gig Masters the other day and I was like, let me see what's going on here. The other thing I don't like about Gig Masters is that they set the price. They set the expectation of pricing for the client. So now they're telling you, they're telling the client that, well, a moderate DJ is like $400 to $600, but your services might be $800. Well, now they're not going to talk to you because now you have to sell on why $800 is a better value than the $400 DJ. It actually puts more work in your hands. And the other thing is that people who tend to go to these sites just are looking for price. It becomes a race to the bottom. And I'm never a fan of race to the bottom, ever. Because I just think that it degrades the value of what you're bringing. Because then it just reduces what you do to a number, and it's never a good thing. So by you developing your own sales cycle, you are able to start determining what the conversation is, what the pricing is. It actually puts more of the power in your hands as a DJ. And I think it's super, super important as you're looking to get more gigs and book more gigs. The second thing with promotion is you got to work the net. This in and of itself is a whole thing because there's so many avenues for promotion. The thing that you have to learn is how to use social media in your favor. So you have things like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, MySpace, totally kidding. But all these things are giving us the capability to promote ourselves in a way that's very accessible, right? Like labels, big promotion, publicists and PR companies, we have the same tools as them when it comes to getting the word out there because they also use TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, etc. So the playing field has been leveled out a lot. What they have that we don't are the opportunities to get on like David Letterman, or well, when he had his talk show, Late Night with Conan, who are the others? Jimmy Kimmel, right? Jimmy Fallon, and get your names in big magazines and whatnot. But because they've had their relationships for so long, but you can still do that if you are effective with it. There are tons of people that are making a living just through Instagram. Why couldn't you? So all this, like getting it all together can be very overwhelming at the same time, right? Because then I'm like, oh shit, I got to post on Facebook, then I got to do some on Instagram, I got to put the stories up, yada, yada, yada. It's a lot. But if you have a strategy around it, you can really start making some serious progress with your awareness of who you are. So the question would be, how are you using the internet? How are you increasing your visibility to your advantage? And also, working the net also means working your network. So how are you able to grow your network to increase the number of opportunities that you can create, work opportunities that you can create for yourself? The last thing with promotion is wash, I rinse, and repeat. Now, as I talk about all this, it might be super overwhelming. That's okay. The thing that's going to make all this come together for you is a system that you can set up for yourself, which allows you to execute all these things you need to do, from promotion to lead generation to sales calls, ultimately to booking gigs. The problem with lack of preparation is that when things go south, and they will, like right now, right? We're losing gigs. The nation is in the beginning of a panic. Like Coachella just got moved to October. Broadway has shut down their shows for at least a month. There's a lot of theaters here in LA that have been shutting down. You know, we're going to probably see a lot of decrease in attendance with museums and other gatherings. So it's an effect, right? How do you have a system in place that's going to allow you to generate more work or allow you to navigate moments like this, right? The truth is a lot of us don't. And again, that's okay, because a lot of us were not really taught things like this. So again, we don't know what we don't know. And this is why coaching is so important. Consider this. Some of the top executives in the world, and I'm talking like Fortune 500 companies, they all get coaching because it's very hard to stay on task. There's so much that you have to take care of and fires you have to put out and PR issues or whatever if there's a crisis. Having an extra guiding hand can really help you navigate through those difficult times. And it really helps them navigate through those difficult times, right? Jeff has a question. Okay, say you make a dope mix and you want to post it all over to social media. How often you need to repost your mix on your social to attract more listeners? Okay, Jeff, this has been a repeated question for you in the group and here. I don't know what the answer is. And I say that because I've posted mixes that no one has listened to before. Here's the thing. It doesn't mean you don't post more mixes, right? Maybe you do a campaign around it for a month where you're posting about it every other day. Something to consider is that the people who are following you might get tired of it. The other thing is maybe you post the mix every other week. Don't worry about if people are listening to it or not. Just post. Make it and post it and create a catalog of mixes, right? Because just because people aren't listening to your mix right now, there's a lot going on. People are right now concerned about their health and the virus and stacking up on toilet paper and hand sanitizer. Listening to your mix is not a priority for them, right? Put yourself in other people's shoes with what's going on right now. So I wouldn't worry so much about the listeners, right? What I'd be more concerned with is what else can you continue to create that's going to attract more people? So if you're depending on one mix for people to listen to, then you're placing all your eggs in this basket. And if it doesn't happen and nobody listens, you're gonna, I'm a failure, I suck, or like nobody cares. Don't worry about it. Just keep making more. Keep making more, and maybe you'll do a mix that people are like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then they look back and say, oh my God, he's also done all this stuff. Let's see what's going on. Right? So it's the repetition of continuously putting things out that's going to be helping you generate a fan base over time. The other thing is, if you have friends, like, are they following you on Instagram? Are they supporting you in that way and reposting your mixes, things like that? Like, ask, see what's going on that other people that are already supporting you can continue to do that in these ways, if that makes sense. Now, here is where the goal is for everybody. Let me know if you're still with me. We're gonna have an assessment, right? So this assessment is gonna allow you to see how your business is doing on all these different areas. You're gonna see which one needs the most attention in your business. I'll also share with you which of these elements in the framework are gonna give you the most bang for your buck. These are gonna be the ones that help increase your revenue the fastest. So let me know in the comments that you're with me, you can see me, and we'll get it popping. Lumios, yes, great. And Jeff, another thought with your mix, I would say experiment. Experiment to see what would work. So what happens if you post about your mix every day? What happens if you post 3 times a week? What happens if you post twice in a day? And see, and get data on like, oh, this works. I see my plate counts are increasing, or this hasn't been working. Okay, maybe I need to try a different strategy. So experiment and see what's up. Okay, Raul, great. Jeff, glad you're still with me. Now, let's get into it. So let's look at your business. Let's do this assessment. Let's see what isn't working in your business and what's preventing you from becoming a 6-figure DJ. So let's see which specific areas need the most work. And then again, I'm gonna share which parts are gonna make the biggest difference for you and the one thing that you can take action on now that will help move the needle for your business. So let's start with check yourself. Let's get your mind right. This is about having the right mindset in order to grow your business. So can you charge what you're worth and get the gig? Can you double your prices and get more work? Can you create opportunities for yourself despite DJs who lowball, undercut, or have a crabs in a barrel mentality? If you can say yes to all these 3 questions and you know that you're really creating the lifestyle that you want, you are green. If you say yes to 2 of them, you are yellow. If you say yes to 1 or none, you're red. So let me know where you are in the comments. I'll repeat the question. Can you charge what you're worth and still get the gig? Can you double your prices and get more work? Can you create opportunities for yourself despite DJs who lowball, undercut, or have crabs in a barrel mentality? Let me know. Are you red, yellow, or green? Steve says red. Sean says red. This is a very participatory part, everybody. Let me know where you are. What color are you? Yellow, Raul. The question was, can you charge what you're worth and get the gig? Can you double your prices and get more work? And can you create opportunities for yourself despite DJs who lowball, undercut, or have crabs in a barrel mentality? Red, okay, so I have a yellow, green, a red, 2 more reds. You like, oh, yellow, okay. So I'm gonna do some red with a hint of yellow. Now, for what you about, this is all about knowing your brand and being able to easily communicate your brand to anybody you come across. So are people aware of the kind of DJ you are? Party rock DJ, house DJ, what kind of DJ? Do people immediately think of you when an event comes up to DJ? And then can people make a differentiation between you and another DJ? So if clients can recognize who you are, how you present yourself, how you are different from everybody else, you're green. If you or your clients can answer yes to 2 of these questions, you're yellow. You or your clients can only answer yes to 1 or none, you are red. Where you at in the comments? Steve says red. Raul, Raul, I need a color. Green, okay, good. Steve says red, Sean says red. You got a green. Yellow. Got a green, got a yellow, 2 reds. Red, but where you live, it's more so because of clicks, okay? So Lumios, what does that mean? Because of clicks. They're pretty red. I think between Raul and Jeff, I'm gonna add a streak of yellow. Are you saying that the clicks get in the way of people knowing your brand? Let me know. So for Voltron, the master plan, this is about having a game plan for your career. Do you know what actions you need to take to get to the next level? Do you know how to execute each step? Do you have a clear, actionable plan in place for the next 90 days for you to get closer to the kind of career that you want? You know the deal. If you can say yes to all 3, you're green. Yes to 2, you're yellow. Yes to 1 or none, you're red. Do you know what actions to take to get to the next level? Do you know how to execute each step? And do you have a clear, actionable plan in place for the next 90 days for you to get closer to the kind of career you want? Are you red, yellow, or green? He says yellow. Danielle says that you can charge it. Okay. Jeff says green. Good. You can charge a fair price for DJing, but the DJs here have been out more than I have, and they aren't too fond of trying to let you get in on a night to DJ. I get that. I get that. DJs can be very territorial, unfortunately. Raul says green. But Lumios, are you red, yellow, green here? Green. Great. Great. Blake. Green. Garrett. Rello. Sean says red. So I think between the red. No, that was yellow, green, red, yellow, green, green. Okay, we're a little green here. Let's say green with a hint of yellow. Nice job. So everybody has a good plan. That's huge. It's huge. Okay, now we get into production. So with Listen Deep, this is about making sure you have the knowledge and crates for a solid career and that your live show is on point. So do you have the crates to rock every kind of party, from 2-year-old birthday parties to mixed race weddings? Is your presentation on point? From spinning to emceeing to how you look? Do you have the proper equipment to provide a full service show, from speakers to mics to lights? You know what's good? Let me know where you're at. Sean says yellow. Steve says yellow. Yellow, do not have lights. So far we're yellow. Nobody in Facebook is giving me anything. Raul says yellow. Jeff says, okay, great. Steve says, I ain't too fond of emceeing. It's all good. It's all good. Yellow seems to be the winning color on this one. In Know Your Steves, we are now looking at all the different materials you have available for promotion. So do you have like professional headshots or promo shots, a one sheet, promo videos, a custom website that's ready for presentation, you green. If you use a site like Squarespace and Wix and you only have iPhone pictures and like your videos, all right, then you're yellow. If you only have Instagram and your website's under construction, like you're red. Right? So there's just 3 levels. Like, are you fully prepared and ready to go with all your assets? Do you have some things like some things are good, some things you're still working on? You're yellow. If you like, you're not really prepared for this, then you're red. He says yellow. Sean says red. Yellow. Garrett says underground EDM DJ. So no weddings or 2-year-old birthdays. Okay. So then do you have the music that you need to rock all your parties? Jess says yellow, missing a few items. Well, Garrett, also, if you're not a mobile DJ, then, okay. Jeff, you're mostly more of a club DJ. All right. Raul says yellow. So we got some reds and some yellows. So I'll do this. Yellow it up. And I'm gonna like, with a hint of red. Okay, let's look at the products you done cooked up. So this is about having the musical assets on deck. Okay, great, Garrett, great. This is about having the musical assets on deck for potential clients. So if you have over 20 DJ mixes, remixes, and originals ready to go, you are green. If you have at least 10 DJ mixes and a couple of remixes, or just 10 DJ mixes, you are yellow. If you have less than 10 and no originals, no production type stuff, you are red. Lumio says green. How many DJ mixes you got, Lumios? One guy, when I did a workshop, had like 45. I was like, damn. Steve says red. Jeff says green all the way. Great. If you have over 20 DJ mixes, remixes, and originals ready to go, you're green. If you have at least 10 DJ mixes and a couple of remixes, you're yellow. If you have less than 10 remixes and no originals, nothing of that sort, no production, you're red. Wow, 34 plus, that's what's up. I got a green, red, a red, a green. So we're like average yellow. You went back and remade them. Yep, I've done that. How are your DJ mixes looking? Less than 10, you're red. In between 10 to 20, you're yellow. 20 or more, you are green. Looks like yellow right now. Now, is this not helpful? Like, you can start to see what you need to put your attention on in order to grow. This is a solid overview on what it's going to take for you to really grow your business. So it's super helpful. Raul says, I have no originals mixes that you've done, but you have a whole bunch of so how many DJ mixes do you have? That's the question, Raul, because you might have a lot that can bump you up to yellow. No originals, but my track selection is on point in multi-genre, so I say yellow. Well, do you have DJ mixes ready to go? That's my question, Garrett. That's my question. But it's cool. It seems like the consensus is yellow right now. Now, let's talk about getting that paper. What are your sales skills like? So if your sales skills are good, you have lots of repeat clients and referrals. Raul says more than 50. Bro, you're probably green if you have more than 50 mixes. Don't worry about the production. But for getting that paper, you have lots of repeat clients, your lead generating system is on point, and I'm not including Thumbtack in this, and then you know how to close deals at $1,000 or more, right? If you can do that, you're green. If you have repeat clients, you pay for leads, and you can close deals around the $500 mark, you are yellow. If you can't generate your own leads and you have trouble closing deals over $500, or you have to drop your prices dramatically to get the gig, you're red. A red from Sean, I have a yellow from Steve. So what are your sales skills like? I mean, last month I closed 2 weddings, one at 3K, one at 2,500. And I'm saying this to show that it's very possible for you to do that. There's a way to make that happen. Jeff says red here, it's been a struggle. And sales is hard. Raul, green, very nice. So I got 2 reds, a yellow, a green. Street, you are just jumping in. We are in the assessment portion of the workshop. So you missed a lot of the goodness, but what you can do is you can email me. I'm writing this down. Shammy at spin2six. Whoops. Spin2six.com, not spin2sin. Although that would be an interesting show. And I will send you a replay. So Lumio says that one is tough. I can get repeat clients, just not a lot or very high end. So I'm gonna put you as yellow. And Sean, you had said red already. So red, 2 yellows and a green. Oh, and another red. So I think we're like red and yellow mix. So working the net, are you able to work the internet and your social media to promote and spread the word about you and your business? So if your socials are growing and your website is working to help you generate leads, and you have a vast network of people that can get you leads from different sources, you're green. If your socials are okay, you got a website going, but it's basic, and your network isn't strong, meaning you don't have an active connection with the people you work with, you are yellow. And if your IG is filled with memes or it's private and your network is weak, you're red. Steve says yellow, excuse me. Lumio says yellow. We're pretty yellow right now. Just as yellow, it's mostly basic here. So we're pretty yellow right now. Street, so you know what's going on. So I explained all the different components of becoming a 6-figure DJ. And what we're doing now is making an assessment based on these components of what you need to work on and focus on in your business. So through this assessment, we find out what's working and what isn't. And it gives you a visual representation to be like, oh, I can work on this, or I need to work on that part of your business. Raul says green. Great. Congratulations on booking your school graduation, man. Or a school graduation. I don't have yours. So I got mainly yellows, and a red and a green, but we're gonna average that out to this. So not too bad. Now with wash, rinse, repeat. This is about putting all these things together and having a system in place for your business. So if you have a thriving email list of at least 500 people and your list is growing, you communicate with your fans via email and social media on a weekly basis, you're green. If you have Instagram or a small email list and you post every so often, you're yellow. If you don't have an email list or a system to implement implemented where you can update your fans and your leads and get the word out about you, you are red. Sean says yellow. Sean, so you have an email list. Steve says red. Lumio says red. Sean, do you have an email list? Let me know. And if you do, how big is it? Raul, you have an email list? Okay, good. Jess says red. Garrett says yellow. Yellow, red, red, yellow, red, green. I think we're like reds with hints of yellow. Sean and Raul, I'm glad you have email lists. They're pretty important, despite what the people say. Despite that people who think it's all about Instagram. I do, but shout outs to y'all that have email lists. If you guys don't have an email list, you ladies or gentlemen that are here don't have an email list, like get one ASAP. Okay, here's what we're looking like, everybody. So what I'm catching here is that it seems like everybody has a plan, which is amazing because a lot of people don't. But we definitely need to work on mindset. It looks like we can work a bit on our systems, our sales cycle, and our branding. So this is a very easy way to be like, oh, I can do that. Oh, I need to work on that. And now you have an idea of what to do to set your system up for success. This is why this workshop is very valuable, because now it's giving you an insight that you may not have had before. Now, again, don't get disappointed that like, oh gosh, there's so many things to work on. Like now you know what to work on instead of it being a guessing game of what to do, right? So I want to deliver on my promise with sharing the most important things to move the needle for your business. So the first thing is, if I had to pick only one thing that's going to get things moving right now for you, it is this: get that paper. You have to get your sales skills down. You have to develop these skills. It's important. This is going to help you score more gigs because you're going to have a way to not only get more leads, but close the deal, because now you have the gift of gab. And let me tell you, if you don't know these skills, or if it's like, how am I going to do this? All these things can be developed. Raul says, pace always worked for me. Priority, alternate, contingency, and emergency. Great. If it's working, keep it going. You know? Now, the second thing to do, if I'm giving you 3 things that'll move your business, the second thing I would look at is creating a system. Washing, rinsing, and repeating. Having this kind of system in place would promote your business, because now you have something and a way to show people what's up, right? You have your assets ready, and now you can put it out there into the world. And then knowing your steez, speaking of assets, is the third thing that you need to really make all this come together. Because looking at all your assets, from your website to your social media to the mixtapes you have to your pictures, it just allows, you just have material to now show people what's going on and what you've done. So if you're gigging somewhere and you take a picture of yourself like, yo, turning up at this event, you know, people see, potential clients can get a sense of like, oh, well, that DJ's doing something, right? That DJ Lumios is out there working. I can see them getting down. And having a system in place to really showcase everything. Once you have these pictures, you spread the word. And then when people see you and they're like, Lumios, where you're at? Where you at this Saturday? You free? I'd love to book you. Like, I saw you do this gig and like, I love what you were doing. I heard your mixes online. It's all a system. It all connects with each other. So out of the whole thing, these three, I would tell you, would be the most important that you can focus on today. And out of all of them, this, getting that paper, would be the most important thing to focus on. So those things will make the biggest difference for you. Now, the first email, the very first email that you got from me when you signed up to join the Facebook group, it had a PDF of the 4 pillars to book more gigs. You can use that as a way to jumpstart your business if like nothing has been going on for some time. Street, don't worry, email me, shammy@spin2six.com. I'll send you a replay. Don't even trip. You'll be able to catch on real quick. So if you don't have that download, or if you can't find it, email me, shammy@spin2six.com, and I will send it to you. But that'll give you an overview on what it takes to start booking more gigs for yourself. So we had a 4 pillars challenge at the start of the year. And if you missed it, don't worry. I'm working on creating that as like a mini course that you can then jump on at any time. So there's 2 more things that I want to share with you. One of which is the Spin to 6 program. And the other thing that I want to share is what makes a good program to grow your business. So I've talked with some people, and I've done research. There are a few programs out there that are for DJs. The vast majority of them are generally geared toward the technique of DJing. And in these programs, there's really nothing in there that's helping you grow your business. It might give you a few tips to get gigs, but outside of that, they're really just about the basics of DJing. What you want to look for in a program is something that can show you an overview of booking gigs from a DJ point of view. So like this system that I'm showing, it's all based on the Spin to 6 program. You want a program that'll help you deep dive into things like branding and marketing for your business. Another thing you want to look for is accountability. Like you want someone who's been there that can help guide you through this process. And in this case, with what's going on, you want someone who's able to help you navigate the tough times and prepare you for what's to come, and also help set you up for success when this moment turns around. So having that kind of accountability will help you with, there's so much to cover, and it can help with the feeling of overwhelm that there's so much to do, but having that person there to help guide you and help you can really, again, help you navigate these moments with peace of mind and clarity. And that's like, I have some one-to-one clients that I work with, and one of the biggest pieces of feedback that I get is like, every time I finish something with you, or finish a session with you, I get clear on what my next steps are supposed to be. So you want that level of accountability and clarity with the people you're working with. So Spin to 6. Basically, the majority of what we've been covering today. The Spin to 6 program is for you if you've been a working DJ for at least 3 years. Like 2 years might be the absolute minimum, but in this time of 2 to 3 years, you've been out there playing gigs and rocking crowds. So if you're a hobbyist or you just do podcasts, like this isn't for you. Because you need to get out there. It's very important that you have the skill set to rock crowds. The program does not teach you technique. You need to have that down on your own. So if you don't have that down, like I can recommend sites that you can check out that are really good at teaching technique. But this is geared toward the business end of it. So we've already started. We're actually approaching week 4 of the program, but you can still catch up. So let me explain to you a little bit of what the program is. It's a 12-week program that's basically gearing you up to have the tools you need to, 1, develop a system like we were discussing, and 2, help you book more business, right? Arm you with the tools you need in order to grow and sustain a business. So I'm helping you with the systems that you need to have in place to make things happen. So it happens in 3 ways. We have weekly calls, all these calls with me, all these calls get posted on the member site, which with video that dives deeper into the topic of the week. So the first week we talked about money, how to price your services, budgets, whatnot. The second week we talked about networking, how to grow your networks. What does a network really mean for you as a DJ? This week, this past Sunday, we spoke about weddings. Weddings are a big moneymaker for DJs. So here's a way to approach the weddings so you can start getting $2,000, $2,500, $3,000 gigs, right? So all these topics are related to what we've discussed in the webinar, the workshop, and they all interrelate with each other. So as we go through the program, you'll get more topics on other things you need, like your assets and your digital game, how to get Instagram going, etc., so that you can start using these things to your benefit for your business. There's also a Facebook group just for the members of Spin to Six, and then you get one-on-one calls with me, and we dive deep into whatever's going on with your business now, or if you want to talk about something specific, like Jeff, in your case, it would be, we could talk about what it really means to build a fan base and what you need to have in place in order to make this happen for yourself. So all this together is the Spin to Six program, and you can hop on at any time. So this upcoming week, we're actually pivoting a little bit because of what's happening with the coronavirus. I think it's really important for us to take a step back and see, like, well, what do we do if our gigs are drying up? How do we navigate this moving forward? So we're gonna have a discussion about that. So why is this course dope for you? Why should you consider taking this course? Well, first of all, I'm giving you a model on how to approach your business. A lot of us, as we're coming up as DJs, we didn't have that. If you want to be a lawyer and you want to be a partner at a firm, there are very specific steps that you have to take to get to that level, either partner, senior lawyer, running your own law firm, whatever. If you want to be a doctor, there are very specific steps that you have to take to be a doctor. With DJs, it's not really like that. You just kind of like, okay, I want to DJ, let's make it happen. What do I do? The model that we just covered, the systems, is the framework that we'll have in place that you can use to check and see, like, okay, well, here are the things that I have to have in place to make it work. And then we develop a step-by-step process for you to go out into the world and grow your business, make it happen. The second thing is accountability. So having the Facebook group is important. Like, I'm always checking in with everybody, seeing how their goals are going, how are they making progress. I'm there to answer questions and make sure all is cool if anything is up. The third thing is all the weekly topics relate to each other and all build upon each other and have actionable steps that you can take so you can make progress in your career. And then the fourth thing is, I'm here the whole way throughout the program to help you win. Now, this is super important. Most programs are information programs. Buy this thing, buy this course, here's the info, go make it happen. And that go make it happen part is where everything falls apart, because now you might have all this information, you don't know what to do with it. So information is useless if you don't execute. I'm here to make sure that you win. My whole goal is to make sure that every DJ that's a part of Spin to Six can develop the career they want that can sustain the lifestyle that they want to have, like mine has. It's very possible to do. I've done it for multiple years, ongoing. And so I know that I can help show you the way to make it happen wherever you are in the States, or just wherever you are in general. Maybe if you're in a different country, it's all good. We can still make something happen. So all this, I'm here for you. Now, registration for this course closes next Friday. So if you're interested, let me talk about pricing. The price of this course was originally slated to be $5K. But because this is the first time I'm running this program, I've dropped the price to $3K. But again, because this is the first time I'm running it and I believe in action takers, what I've done was open 10 founder seats at a reduced rate of $2,500. So for all that, there's 10 seats available, some of which have already been taken. So I'm not sure how many seats are left. There's a few people that are still considering. So 2,500 for all this. And oh, also I forgot, you have lifetime access to the course. So whenever, I'm gonna be doing this course again throughout the year. So whenever there are updates that are made to the course, you can always go back and check it out. If ever you want a refresher with, you're having a marketing trouble, let's say, and you wanna like, oh, he had something about that. He's gonna talk about that on this week's call when I do the course again. You can always jump on and retake the course and just listen in and see what's going on and get a refresher on whatever it is you're having trouble with. So for 2,500, you're getting a lot of support and access and a way to help grow your business. Now, you don't have to pay that 2,500 up front, of course. Payment plans can be worked out. And because of what's happening with the coronavirus, I'm very mindful of the fact that money might be an issue for a lot of people. So I'm totally willing to work out a special payment plan. Feel free to email me with more questions about it. What I'll do is put in the group a link, and in Facebook. This link is an application that you can fill out and also set up a time to schedule a call with me. We can dig more into what's going on with the business, and you and I can talk about working together in the future. But if you're interested and you're like, I'm with it, I'm down, I want to go, email me and I'll send you the link and we can get set up and figure out what to do next. Now, here's the big thing. If price is a concern, or if you're thinking like, will this work? Will I get my investment back? One, this is an investment for sure. Two, it is my goal to make sure that you get your investment back within the time period that you are in the program. But three, you have somebody in your corner that's here to help make it work for you and figure out if something's not working, what can we do to figure out how to make it better or what the trouble spots are. This is where the big value is for you, because a lot of people don't have the opportunity to to get a mentor or to find somebody that can really help them with what they got going on. So I'm here for you. That's the biggest benefit of the course, that together we can figure out a solution for whatever's going on with your business. And I'm teaching you essentially how to fish. I'm not going to book the gigs for you. I'm not going to generate the fans for you. You have to really do that work. This course does require you to step up. And if you're not willing to do it, then it ain't going to go down. So really, it's up to you to do the work. And if you're willing to step up, now's the time to do it. I'm here for you. Feel free to hit me up. If you got questions, let me know. I'm more than happy to answer them in the chat or on Facebook. But if not, it's all good. Let me know what you thought of this. Was this helpful? Was this not? What else would you like to see? Let me know. Cold chilling, everybody's good? Sean's still working on his website? Steve says it helped me put things in perspective for show. Dope. Lumios, how many times a week do I do online talks? With the course, it's every Sunday, so once a week. These things are different, these workshops. These might be held once a week as well, but in the actual course, we can dive deeper than we can in a general workshop. But you also get one-on-ones. Also, you do get a planning session one-on-one with me when you start. So you actually get 2 one-on-ones, and we'll get a plan going for you for the first 90 days. And then the second one, we can talk about whatever you want. No, in the course, the content is not the same. So in the course, Garrett, glad you were here. Thank you so much. Raul, dope. Glad this helped. Lumios, the content is not the same. So the first week we talked about money as it relates to gigs. The second week we talked about networks. This week we talked about weddings. So it's all different every week. And it has to be different because essentially as we're running through the course, we're developing the process for you to build your business and grow your business. We're laying the foundations in place so that you can scale, book more gigs for more money. Or you can book less gigs for more money, but you're still coming out okay. Any other questions? Dope. If not, thank you so much. There will be more workshops happening, so definitely check your email as I'll send out emails about upcoming workshops. I know I have a tax workshop coming up soon, so that should be helpful because April 15th is right around the corner, and more to come, more to come. But you're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. If there's any questions you have about the program or about workshops, whatever's on your mind, feel free to email me. Otherwise, take care. Thank you so much for coming in and streaming along with me. I'll see you soon.